The most expensive thing you will ever pay is always going to be attention to the wrong people. I'm going to teach on 15 points that you might want to check off when using real people in your book. We're celebrating World Intellectual Property Day. World Intellectual Property Day. The whole world is taking note of their intellectual property. Are you? Are you one of those people who say, what is intellectual property? What is IP? Okay. So to get started, let me just say this. Okay. Let's get started. The most expensive thing you'll ever pay is attention to the wrong people. I'm Dr. Fred Jones. My doctor is a Juris Doctor. That's a law degree. I am a literary attorney. That is an attorney who looks over writings and stuff like that. I am a copyright attorney. The copyright attorney is an attorney who helps you protect your copyright interests. I am a United States Supreme Court attorney. I'm a business law and ethics professor at Kennesaw State University for many years. Also, I taught law at Louisiana College in Pineville, Louisiana for many years. I help high-achieving women and a few brave men to walk in your worth, value your voice, and build an economy around your story. So if you're looking to do that, you're in the right place. And if you want to understand intellectual property, I started on this journey in 1991. I was in law school, and Carrie de Bessonet said, intellectual property. And I was like, whoa, what is that? Intellectual property piqued my curiosity. And ever since that day, my friend, ever since that day, I've been on it. Okay. I've been on it. Okay. Authortology. Let's see here. World Intellectual Property Day. Let's put this out there. World Intellectual Property Day. Your value is unlimited. Your worth is without measure, but your price is what you're willing to accept. Anybody? Your value is unlimited. Your worth is without measure, but your price is what you're willing to accept. Okay? Now, the first thing you need to know here is your book is intellectual property. Somebody need to put that down. Your book is intellectual property. Your book is IP. Why? What is intellectual property? Intellectual property is property of the hands and not property of the mind and not property of the hands. That's right. Property of the mind and not property of the hands. Okay. What are the three types of intellectual property? I want you to know this now. If you're going to be following me on Scope, I want you to be up on it. What is intellectual property? Okay. 15-point checklist when using real people in your book. All right. That's what we're going to do. And I ain't got but about 15 minutes. So I'm going to go through these like boom. But before I get started, I want you to know this. Okay. There are three types of intellectual property. There's real property, personal property, and then there's intellectual property. Three categories of property: real property, personal property, and intellectual property. Most of the world's wealth is housed where? In intellectual property. Most of the world's wealth is housed in intellectual property. Most of the world's wealth is IP. That's been the case for many, many years. And it hadn't changed yet. Okay. Hadn't changed yet. Now, so I want you guys to go ahead and let me know where you're from. Oh, there is Dr. Yvette Young. Dr. Young, good to see you, ma'am. Give my regards to your husband. Please give my regards to the husband. Okay. There are three types of intellectual property, three types of property: real property, personal property, and intellectual property. Okay. So I want to give you a 15-point checklist when telling your real story. Are you ready to get started? Intellectual property. That's right, ma'am. That is a big deal. And this is what many people overlook. Now, intellectual property, property of the mind and not property of the hand. Okay. There are four types of intellectual property, Dr. Young. There are four types of intellectual property. And if you'll type these in the comment box as I'm sharing them out here, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate you joining in on my broadcast today, Miss Yvette Young. Appreciate you. Okay. I'm going to give you the four types of intellectual property, and then we're going to talk about this checklist. Okay. Are you ready? Number one is copyright. Copyright is intellectual property. Number two, trademark. Trademark. Okay. Number three, copyright, trademark, patents, patents, patents. Okay. All right. Now, number 4 is trade secrets. Okay. Trade secrets. Hey, Brad, I'm waiting on you to do a live scope. Brad, I'm waiting on you to do a live scope. Why don't you do any live scopes, Brad, over on Periscope? You got my attention, Brad. Why don't you do some live scopes and let us know who you are, okay? Come on and do some scopes and put yourself out there, Brad. I'm waiting on you to do a scope on Periscope. All right, so the 4 types of intellectual property is copyright, trademark, patents, and trade secrets. Trade secrets. Now, let's get started, okay? Your book is copyright. Your book is copyright. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Number 1 thing that you don't ever want to put in a book, I'm going to give you these. It's going to be 15 of them, and we're going to keep moving. Number 1 is you never want to say anything that is about somebody that is related to their sexual behavior. Never put in a book that someone is a sexual pervert or they are sexually loose. Never write in a book about someone sexually. You can show, but don't tell. Never write something negative about someone's sexuality in a book. Number two, keep in mind, memoir books are subjective, okay? Subjective. Hello, Janice. Thank you. Books are subjective, okay? So when you're writing this, keep in mind that your memoir will evolve over time, okay? So you want to verify your memory. Verify your memory. Number 1, don't write anything about someone's sexual or criminal behavior. Okay. Never write anybody about anybody's sexual behavior. Okay. Number two. Remember that your book is subjective. And when I say subjective, it's your opinion, it's your belief, it's your feelings about a thing. And your book will evolve over time. So whatever your memory is about a story, then you need to verify that. Verify that, okay? So you might want to look for records in the newspaper. You might want to look for records in a magazine. You might want to look at criminal reports. Books are subjective. That's right. That's right. That's right. That is right, Dr. Young. Books are subjective. It's your opinion. And you don't ever want to write about someone's sexual misbehavior. No, leave that out of a book. Leave that out of a book. Unless you can prove it very clearly. Number three. When you're gonna use real people in your book, use the public record. Oh, this is so good. Use the public record. Write what's in the courthouse. Write what's in the newspaper. Don't write what was on a funeral program. You know, if you're going to talk about somebody that did something bad, use the public record. Okay. Number 1, don't write anything about their sexual behavior. Number 2, don't rely on your memory. Don't rely on your memory. Verify. Number 3, use court documents. Use court documents. Okay. So when you use court documents, you're going to be better off. You're going to be much better off. Okay. Now, number four. Thank you, Brad. Yep. I'm just a watcher and could never be as entertaining as you. Oh, ho. You're so kind. Use public records. What's on the courthouse or the newspaper? Use that when you're telling your real story. Number 4, if you want to tell your story about somebody that violated you in a bad way, somebody that molested you or somebody that raped you, and they still living, you might want to wait till they die. Now, I know that sounds hard, that sounds tough, but folks, wait till they die. Wait till they die. Okay. Because when the person passed away, okay, until they die, most of us don't want to wait that long. Most folk don't want to wait that long. We want to tell it so we can get back at them. But don't be writing no book to get back at anybody. That's a problem, my friend. That's a problem, my friend. So You might want to wait till they pass away. Number five, okay? Number five, you might want to consider using a pen name, okay? Use a pen name. Use an alternative name. Write in somebody else's name. If you're going to write your real story, then write in somebody else's name. Don't put your name on there, okay? And when you write in your real story and using somebody else's name, you might want to change the location. You might want to change the place. You might want to change up a whole bunch of things so nobody will know that you're talking about Uncle Willie. Nobody need to know you're talking about Big Daddy Sam. You see, and if you give too many details, then you're gonna find yourself could be in the middle of a lawsuit. I'm talking about 15 ways to write and tell your story using real people. Because the truth of the matter is, we all done had somebody to drop us. We all done had somebody to offend us. We all done had somebody to let us down. And when we begin to tell our real story, we want to call those people out. Okay. Number six. Watch your motive. Okay, somebody need to put that in real big. Watch your motive. Okay, hello, folks. Watch your motive. That's so important right there. Watch your motive. If you're writing a book and the whole point behind your book is to get even with somebody, you're gonna put around here and get in trouble. If your motive is wrong and you're just gonna slam somebody, your book is intellectual property. And then we're celebrating World Intellectual Property Day. Your value is unlimited. Your worth is without measure, but your price is what you're willing to accept. But if you're celebrating World Intellectual Property Day, you're going to lose your intellectual property if you fool around and write a book and you get angry at somebody and you put some mad stuff in the book. It's going to not be pretty on you. That's not going to look good on you. Okay, so be careful there. Okay, be careful there. Watch your motives. Okay, watch your motives. Number six. Number seven. Okay. You know, sometime I've been working with people, they want to write books and they want to get their book out to the world and they want to just tell all the details. Okay, so number seven, type in as needed. As needed. Okay, you want to, when you write a book, you don't necessarily have to get all into the gritty details of what happened to you bad. Sometimes you want to tell only what is needed. Only what is needed. That's very important. As needed. Okay? As needed. That's number seven. Number eight. Consider using a pen name. Consider using a pen name. Now, I know I gave you that one in number five. In number five, I should have said alternate facts. Okay. As needed. You're correct, Brad. Thank you. Alternate facts. Okay. Now, number seven, ask yourself, how important are these details you don't need all the details, only what is needed, as needed. That is so important, doctor. That is so important. Consider using a pen name. They don't have to know you. If your whole goal is to get the story out and help the reader, then use a pen name. Okay. Number nine, okay. Get a release. Okay. If you're going to write about somebody, get a release from that person. You need to go talk to him saying, Big Daddy, you was a bad person back in 1940s. Okay. Big Mama, you know that wasn't right. You want to say, Willie, you know what you did 30 years ago wasn't right. Would you mind signing a release? I'm about to write a book. Okay. I'm about to tell. And Willie, I'm not going to say bad things about you. I'm just going to talk about that experience. Get Willie to sign off on it. Get a release from him. And friend, when you're going to get a release, be nice. You gather more flies with honey than with vinegar. Okay? So don't go being mean and ugly to Big Willie. Go to Big Willie right and say, Big Willie, you know you were bad. Big Mama, you know that wasn't right. And you know I done forgave you, right? And they're going to say, right. Now, Mama, I need to tell my story. I just want to be free. Okay. And when you do that, get a release about the person you're writing about. Okay. Get a release. Okay. I'm trying to help you. The purpose of this scope is to protect your intellectual property. If you want to protect your intellectual property, then you need to put these things in place. Okay. Number 10, don't use anyone's image for advertising or promotion purpose without express permission. Okay, so number 10 is get express permission. Get expressed permission. Okay, folks, get express permission. Now, I'm almost out of town and my time is almost gone. Oh my goodness. Did y'all get great value out of this? I got a class that's going to start in just a little bit. Number 10 is get express permission. And I'm going to have to come back later on, maybe tonight, and do part 2 and give you the last 5 because I got 15 points that you want to check off before when you start to use real people in your book. Okay. Number 10, don't use images without permission. Get express permission. Okay. Get express permission. If it sounds crude or rude, you might get sued. Okay, I like it, Brood. I like it, Brad. If it sounds crude or rude, you might get sued. Okay. Now, look at this now. Don't use images without permission. My time is up, folks. Number 9, get a release from the person you're writing for. Number 10, consider using a pen name. Number 7, put people in your book as needed. Number 6, watch your motives. Number 5, use an alternative place or name. Number 4, wait until they die. And I think that's where we don't write about someone's sexual behavior. Use the public record. Books are subjective. And there are 4 types of copyright. Copyright, trademark, patent, and trade secrets. I'm Dr. Fred Jones reminding you that the most expensive thing you will ever pay is attention to the wrong people, especially online. Everybody want to be a book coach and an expert. Everybody. And I'm not saying that they're not good. I'm just saying. All right, folks, I'm having too much fun. Until next time, I'm Dr. Fred Jones reminding you the most expensive thing you will ever pay is attention to the wrong people. See y'all later on. Bye-bye. Someone said, appreciate you. Remember, the most expensive thing you'll ever pay is attention to the wrong people. Always the real deal. Always the real deal. Thank you, Brad. Okay, bye-bye.